Ever since I moved into my new house, there was one place that filled me with an inexplicable sense of dread: the basement. It loomed beneath the house, its entrance concealed by a heavy wooden door. The air down there felt stale and suffocating, as if it held the secrets of a forgotten realm. Reluctantly, I descended into the depths, unaware of the horrors that awaited me in the dark recesses below. As I stepped onto the creaking staircase leading down to the basement, a chill ran down my spine. The flickering light bulb barely illuminated the space, casting long, distorted shadows along the cold concrete walls. The very atmosphere was heavy with a sense of foreboding, as if the basement itself were alive and watching my every move. The further I ventured, the more the air grew oppressive. The musty scent of dampness filled my nostrils, mixing with an underlying stench that made my stomach churn. The dim light played tricks on my eyes, revealing glimpses of unsettling shapes lurking in the corners. Whispers echoed through the shadows, their origins impossible to discern. As I cautiously explored, I stumbled upon forgotten relics scattered across the floor. Broken toys, aged photographs, and discarded belongings told stories of lives once lived. Yet, there was an underlying darkness to these objects, an energy that sent shivers down my spine. It was as if the basement held the remnants of forgotten souls, trapped within its depths. In the corner of the basement, hidden behind a stack of old boxes, I discovered a door I had never noticed before. It stood there, beckoning me with an inexplicable allure. My heart pounded in my chest as I reached for the doorknob, my mind filled with a mixture of curiosity and dread. As the door swung open, a gust of icy wind rushed past me, extinguishing the flickering light bulb. Darkness enveloped the space, leaving me in a void of blackness. Fear gripped me, but something compelled me to step forward, deeper into the unknown. Within the pitch-black abyss, whispers grew louder, reverberating through the space. They spoke of ancient curses, of tortured souls seeking release. The temperature dropped to bone-chilling levels, and the whispers transformed into agonized cries that echoed within my very soul. Suddenly, a pale, ethereal light appeared before me, casting eerie shadows on the damp walls. The light seemed to emanate from a figure that moved with a haunting grace. Its eyes glowed with an otherworldly intensity, filled with sorrow and longing. I felt a connection, an inexplicable tie to this apparition. The figure beckoned me forward, guiding me through the labyrinthine depths of the basement. The walls seemed to shift and contort, as if morphing into a living nightmare. My senses were overwhelmed by the smell of decay and the touch of icy fingers brushing against my skin. As we reached the heart of the basement, I found myself standing before a decrepit altar, a place of darkness and despair. The figure's voice resonated in my mind, revealing the truth. It was bound to this basement, cursed to wander the shadows until its release was granted. I had unwittingly become the key to its salvation. With trembling hands, I recited ancient incantations, breaking the curse that held the figure captive. As the words left my lips, the basement trembled, and a blinding light erupted from the altar. The figure dissolved into the light, its anguished cries turning into whispers of gratitude. I stumbled back, shielding my eyes from the radiant glow. When the light subsided, I found myself standing in the basement once more. The oppressive atmosphere had lifted, replaced by a sense of peace and release. The basement was no longer a place of nightmares, but a space cleansed of its dark past. Yet, as I ascended the stairs, the memories of the basement lingered, reminding me of the secrets hidden beneath the surface. The abyss below had been unleashed, and I was forever marked by its touch, an eternal reminder of the horrors that lay beneath our seemingly ordinary lives. I always knew there was something unsettling about the basement in my childhood home. It was a place of darkness and mystery, its cold concrete walls whispering secrets that sent chills down my spine. Despite my trepidation, curiosity got the better of me, and I found myself descending into the depths of that foreboding abyss. Little did I know that the secrets lurking within would awaken a malevolent force that would haunt me for the rest of my days. The basement air was thick with mustiness, suffocating my senses as I stood at the top of the stairs. The flickering light bulb cast eerie shadows that danced and swayed along the walls. The silence was deafening, broken only by the sound of my own heartbeat pounding in my ears. Goosebumps prickled my skin, a warning sign that I was about to unravel something sinister. As I ventured further into the basement, the temperature dropped, wrapping me in an icy embrace. The dim light struggled to penetrate the gloom, revealing stacks of forgotten items and discarded memories. It was as if time stood still in this forsaken place, preserving the forgotten fragments of lives that once inhabited these walls. In the corner of the basement, hidden beneath a sheet-covered mound, lay an ancient chest. Its weathered wood bore the scars of time, and a sense of malevolence emanated from its very core. Reluctantly, I reached out to touch it, my fingertips brushing against the cool surface. The moment my skin made contact, a surge of energy coursed through me, sending a jolt of terror down my spine. With a trembling hand, I opened the chest, revealing a collection of dusty books and yellowed parchment. Words of forbidden knowledge and dark rituals filled their pages, threatening to unleash unimaginable horrors. As I perused the sinister texts, a shadowy figure materialized in the corner of the basement, its malevolent eyes fixated upon me. The figure stepped forward, its movement sinuous and unnatural. A palpable aura of evil surrounded it, suffocating the air. It whispered in a voice that chilled me to my core, promising power and untold secrets if only I would succumb to its influence. I knew then that I had awakened a force beyond my comprehension, and my very soul trembled in fear. Days turned into sleepless nights as the basement became a nexus for the supernatural. Shadows danced along the walls, taking on grotesque forms. Whispers filled the air, their voices a cacophony of despair and torment. The boundary between the living and the dead blurred, and I became a vessel for the malevolent presence that had been awakened. In a desperate bid to break free from the clutches of darkness, I sought the guidance of a wise old occultist. With his help, I embarked on a treacherous journey to seal away the evil that had consumed me. Ancient incantations echoed through the basement, warding off the shadowy figure and banishing it to the depths from whence it came. As the incantations reached their crescendo, a blinding light filled the basement, purging the darkness that had plagued me. The walls trembled, and the air felt alive with a renewed sense of purity. When the light subsided, the basement was empty, devoid of the malevolence that once held sway over it, but the horrors of the basement remained etched in my memory. I moved away, leaving that house and its dark secrets behind. Yet, I couldn't escape the feeling that the shadows still lingered, waiting patiently to ensnare another unsuspecting soul. The basement had taught me a lesson of the darkness that resides within us all, and the delicate balance between curiosity and the consequences that await us in the depths of our own desires. Ever since I moved into my new house, there was a room that unsettled me to the core, the basement. It sat beneath the house like a forgotten tomb, its entrance guarded by a heavy, rusted door. I could hear whispers in the dead of night, their haunting words crawling through the floorboards, beckoning me into the abyss. Against my better judgment, I succumbed to the curiosity that gnawed at my soul and descended into the depths of the basement, unaware of the darkness that awaited me. As I stepped onto the creaking wooden stairs leading down, a musty scent filled the air, dampening my senses. The flickering light bulb above cast eerie shadows that danced along the damp, rough-hewn walls. The sound of my footsteps echoed through the empty space, amplifying the silence that enveloped me. It was a silence pregnant with anticipation, as if the basement held its breath, waiting for me to uncover its secrets. With trepidation, I explored further, my fingers trailing along the cold, moist walls. The air grew thicker, suffused with an otherworldly presence that sent shivers down my spine. My gaze fell upon forgotten relics scattered across the floor, an old chair, broken toys, and tattered books. They seemed like remnants of a life long gone, left to decay in this forsaken place. Each object exuded a sense of sadness, as if they held the memories of a forgotten past. As I moved deeper into the basement, a faint whispering filled the air, a chorus of hushed voices that resonated with a haunting harmony. The words were indistinct, their meaning obscured by the veil of the unknown. They seemed to come from all directions, the voices of lost souls reaching out from the abyss. I strained to decipher their message, but it remained elusive, a cryptic symphony that danced just beyond my understanding. In the dim light, I discovered an old mirror propped against a wall, its glass tarnished and cracked. A sense of unease washed over me as I looked into it, for within its reflection, I caught glimpses of distorted faces and shadowy figures lurking just behind me. They watched with hollow eyes, their expressions twisted with malevolence. Fear gnawed at my core as I realized that the mirror held a gateway to a realm where darkness reigned. My heart raced as I became entranced by the mirror's macabre allure. I reached out, my fingertips grazing its surface. Suddenly, an invisible force pulled me into its depths, my body merging with the twisted reflection. The basement vanished, replaced by a nightmare realm teeming with horrors beyond comprehension. I was trapped within a labyrinth of torment, where whispers turned into shrieks of anguish and the darkness became my eternal companion. I stumbled through the abyss, desperate to escape the clutches of this nightmare. The walls seemed alive, shifting and pulsating with a malicious intent. The air grew thicker, filled with the acrid stench of decay. I heard my own voice echoing in the darkness, pleading for release, but my cries were met with laughter, a maddening chorus of derision from unseen entities. In the depths of despair, a faint glimmer of hope appeared, a distant flicker of light amidst the suffocating darkness. With renewed determination, I followed its elusive glow, navigating the labyrinthine corridors that twisted and turned. It led me to a forgotten door, half concealed behind decaying debris. As I pushed it open, blinding light flooded the space, consuming the nightmare realm. I found myself back in the basement, gasping for air, drenched in cold sweat. The whispers had ceased, replaced by a deathly silence. I stumbled up the stairs, vowing never to return to that wretched place. But the whispers, though silenced for now, lingered in my mind, a constant reminder of the horrors that dwelled within the depths. The basement had claimed a piece of my sanity, leaving me forever haunted by its chilling secrets.